Hey guys, thank you for taking the time to checking out my channel, Past, Present, Future Peer. And we got a story out of the Independent, and as you can see, I got my NASA hat on, so you know it has something to do pertaining to NASA. I got you, NASA. I got you. So yeah, we have an article coming out of the Independent, how NASA's new rocket compares to the Saturn V of the Apollo program. As you guys know, we actually have a shuttle launch actually going to happen August 29th here in my home state, Florida, of course. And of course, we all know that Florida and Cape Canaveral, where the shuttle is at, is actually a good location for them to take off with the good viewing. So they have a new program called the Artemis 1 mission that's actually going to take us back to the moon. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been saying that. Everybody knows. So I've been asking, well, what about the moon? We're setting out satellites to Jupiter or Saturn, but what about the moon? So yes, these are their plans going back into the moon. So yeah, let's get to this article and see about the mission at hand that they have. See here, the Artemis 1 mission, the first flight of NASA's new program to return humans to the moon by 2025, as I just said earlier, will take this guy's courtesy of NASA Space Launch System, or SLS. It's a massive heavy lift rocket. It looks like a mismatch of the space shuttle and a Saturn V rocket. As you guys know, this half a century now we've been using the Saturn V. That's actually how we got our astronauts, I apologize, to the moon. So it's actually interesting now that we're actually advancing our technology and trying to move to something better. So I'll skip here where it says whether the special launch system and the Saturn V. Both the Saturn V and the SLS are or were, in case of the Saturn V, are super heavy lift launch vehicles designed to loft large payloads and human crews into the orbit and set them on a course to the moon. As you all know, we need like tremendous force to propel us out from Earth's atmosphere to get around especially out of the ozone layers. So yeah, as of right now, the Saturn V is still the most powerful rocket to ever fly, full pending to the new launch of the SLS. So, as it said here, they're just going over about how we used the Saturn V for most of our tests for half a century now. But a little interesting fact I want to bring you down right here, where it says, Artemis is intended as a test flight of both the SLS rocket and the Orion spacecraft that will see the later circle, the moon as part of a 40-day mission to check out the flight system and ensure the Orion spacecraft can safely re-enter Earth's atmosphere. So as I said, this is just like the first step. Like none of this is going to be done until the mission is supposed to be finished and ready to go by 2025. So this is just the first step, just to make sure everything goes according to plan. You know what I mean? So this is a lot of money running, and of course, you know, we have people aboard this shuttle, so we want to take every precaution. It's scheduled for May of 2024. While Artemis 3, the last phase, is scheduled for some time in 2025. So, and it is Artemis 3rd that will see the first humans land on the moon since 1972. So, as I just said before, the first launch that we're going to have in a couple of days is just a little test to make sure everything was good. And fun fact, when it comes to the name of Artemis, I was wondering where did they get this name from. And if you've seen my channels, you know how I love to dive deep into antiquity, and I talk about the Greeks, the Romans, and the Egyptians and their mythology. And of course, Artemis goes back to none other than the Greeks, as I'll show you here. Artemis, goddess of nature, childbirth, wildlife, the moon, the hunt, sudden death, Adam's virginity. She was heavily identified with Selene, the moon, and Hecate, another moon goddess, and was thus regarded as one of the most prominent lunar deities in mythology, alongside the Ephemerida II. She was often roamed the forests of Greece, attended by her large entourage, mostly made up of nymphs, some mortals, and hunters. The countryside goddess Diana and her Roman equivalent. In Greek tradition, this is really important. This is why I want to point this out to you guys. Artemis is the daughter of the sky god, king of the gods Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. Very interesting that she's the twin of Apollo. And once you know that we have a mission called Artemis, you know that we also have, that's right, Apollo. Apollo mission that coincides with Artemis, both Greek deities that NASA took and used for their logo. So just very interesting. As my last video, I just talked about symbolisms and certain symbols that certain corporations use. So I always tell people, look at these symbols and look what they're portraying. Go back to the root of these symbols, because you can see Artemis and the Apollo are very identical. As you see in the other one, Apollo is just on one side, while Artemis is on the other. Very interesting. Duality, if I have to say the most. But just wanted to point that out. So now, August 29th is coming up, and I'm glad that I lived in the state for to be able to witness this. Won't be able getting any tickets to go down there to go see it, but I'll be able to see like the outskirts of it from where I'm at. So I'm lucky for that. But yeah, hopefully I'll do a live stream of the launch. Hopefully everything goes good. So yeah, just wanted to point this out, and hope you guys are ready for the launch. Excited like I am. Another step to going back in space and going back to the moon. But yeah, also remember guys, look at these symbols that they use in the portray. Look at it, take the time, research them. You'll be very surprised. Well, once again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch the channel. I hope you guys watch the launch. Well, let's watch it together. Get in the comments. You guys excited for it? But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And once again, NASA. All right, guys. Take care.